up? I'm Rahul.
Hi, Shikhar. Welcome back to Market Curry.
Yes.
So I hope you guys have seen our first episode where we introduced our
Ourselves and our journey in the MS in Quantitative Finance program.
Yes. So we're back with another episode. This time we're dealing with CFA students.
बड़े लोग भाई.
We are बड़े लोग. They are actually very qualified. They're very smart. And these are they are our
getting a
colleagues.
job.
Yeah, they are our colleagues from Masters in Quantitative Finance. So we'll have a casual chat with them and understand how CFA, how their CFA journey was, Chartered Financial Analyst journey was, and how has it panned out for them here at in US for while pursuing Masters in Quantitative Finance.
So we talked to Jay and Anjani. Both of them are very good friends. Shikhar ke. I'm not friends with them. So those two guys, they talked about the CFA journey. They also talked about how CFA is helping them in the MS in Quantitative Finance. So welcome to the video, guys.
Welcome to the video. We'll just take a cut and then
we hope you like it.
See you guys with the four of us.
Yeah. Guys, we have Jay, Rahul, myself Shikhar, and Anjani with us. And Jay, if you would want to start up with your introduction.
So my name is Jay Gala. I did my undergrad in accounting and finance. Later on I went to do my masters in banking and finance, and with that I used to work at Morningstar as a data research analyst under equity research. And meanwhile I cleared my CFA Level 1 and Level 2 exam as well. Now I'm here at Northeastern University pursuing my masters in finance quantitative.
You've done a master's before this?
Yeah, second master.
Yeah, it's his second. Oh, that's
Overqualified
for the master. But yeah, so again, we have another CFA guest, CFA Level 2 cleared. So Anjani, if you want to introduce yourself and your background.
Hi, my name is Anjani. I did my undergrad in Bachelor's of Commerce, and I also was in Morningstar. I also worked in research, but in the sustainability side. And I've completed my CFA Level 1 in 2019, and I completed my Level 2 in 2022.
A lot of overqualified folks in front of us, right? So both Morningstar, both CFA Level 2, so they had almost the similar trajectory, and since both of them are right now together in MSQF, that's also very surprising.
You're from the same league, bro.
Yes.
But we never saw each other.
Yeah, you were in the same office, right?
But our days might have been different.
Oh, you were in the same office in Mumbai?
Yeah.
Damn.
Of course.
But anyway, so how do you feel about your journey from India to US, about CFA, and how has it panned out for you in masters here?
So, I think let's take one step at a time. You just tell us when you started with your CFA, like the L1, and when did you started and how was it to manage both of the things?
So I started my level 1 in my third year of undergrad, and so my first attempt I couldn't give because of the second wave of COVID. So I got a few extra months to prepare, and I gave it in November instead of the May attempt. The level 1 was not as tough, it was pretty manageable. And the level 2 was very deep, and the knowledge was too much to remember for just one day. And it took a while, but I would not say it's difficult, and it's very manageable.
So this guy, the paper is 6 hours long. He could do the entire 2 tests in just 3 hours.
Yeah, level 1.
Don't you have a break?
It wasn't 6 hours.
Yeah, I didn't take the break. The first one was 5.5 hours, right? Level 1. With the break, it was 5.5 hours, I guess.
Yeah, 5.5, and he could complete the entire paper in just 3 hours.
Yeah, I think the pattern has changed, but that's a credible achievement. I think you finished it in half time, but that's good. Anjani, what about you?
I also did my level 1 in my final year of undergrad, so it was really easy to manage that, and it was easy enough. I think level 1 is easy to pass.
Yeah, after you clear it, you'll find it.
Yeah, I think retrospectively it was very easy, but level 2 was very difficult, and all the formulas and equations, and it was just way too much. There were more than 200 formulas that you needed.
But there are more difficult exams, I guess.
So again, your undergrad, did it overlap with what you studied in the CFA, or
no,
or
CFA
did you have to do
way more in depth.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah,
And
it's
I was
very
more into the
rigorous.
accounting side.
And you had to take external coaching for preparing for CFA? No, you didn't.
I didn't.
I did for level 1.
Yeah, she did for level 1.
Yeah.
I remember your teacher as well, the
Yeah.
name of your teacher.
Yeah.
And Jay did not. So you were completely self-studying.
Yeah.
Both the levels.
Both the levels.
Yeah, I got help.
That's crazy.
for level 1, which is needed. But for level 2, it's mostly like the work that you're putting in.
So the next question is, how did you guys start preparing for it? I mean, did you used to study only on the weekends, or every day you used to put like 2 or 3 hours just on the level 1, on how you started it? And how did you like go about it throughout the entire process?
So I'm the kind of a person who can't manage two things together, like especially when it comes to CFA. So initially I started just reading the text, understanding the text, and then eventually I started practicing after I was thorough with all the subjects. So yeah, I practiced all the MCQs we were given on the website, and like other practice tests as well, and books. And yeah, after that I gave a couple mocks, and yeah, I felt confident enough then.
You
For
give the
both
mocks
levels,
on
yeah.
the website.
Yeah, the website mocks, yeah.
No.
I didn't give any other mocks. I don't remember.
I think it's the same for me. I think the CFA website was the biggest. Like,
Yeah, the MCQs were great on the.
all the practice. Like I think I did all of it
Yeah.
for level 1 and level 2.
If you do them twice, then you are more than good to go for the exam. If you
You
do
did
them
them
again,
twice?
no. For level 1, I did because mine got deferred, so I had to redo them. I took like a 2-month break again. Then I restarted. I forgot half the
Because
things. So I
level
had to do them again.
2 has like 800 questions for FRA, right?
Yeah. Level 2 has lesser questions, but there's too much to read because of the Pinex.
Pattern.
Yeah.
So it got deferred for you because of COVID.
Yeah, it got deferred for me. That's why I got a lot of extra time.
You had extra time. Makes sense.
And what about you, Anjani? Did you follow the same process?
Yeah, mostly you follow the textbook and then the CFA website. I think the CFA website was the biggest help.
And
that's what I followed.
I've heard people saying it's a 300-hour course. I mean, you have to study for like 300 hours or 180 hours, something like that.
Very subjective.
Yeah,
I don't think you
Yeah.
calculate that.
I didn't. I would be like, I need to finish this amount of portion, and that's the amount of hours I would put.
Actually, I did time myself. I studied around 200 to 250 hours in the last 2.5 months.
So how many hours were you doing per day?
Not more than 3 or 4, but that was very efficient. Like efficient 3-4 hours.
So 3-4 hours worth of 12 hours. That's what you're trying to say.
I think I did like towards the last month when I got like I took off from work and everything. I did like 6-7 hours per day.
So you took a sabbatical from work.
Yeah.
Oh, for how long?
I didn't take a sabbatical. I just took my leave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't do 6-7 hours a day. Like that's too much.
I felt it was needed, dude. Because the exam itself is.
Dude, you were working simultaneously, right? I was completely free, like from morning to night. I had nothing else to do. I was just preparing for the exam, so I was good to go. But 3-4 hours are very efficient. Like not even a blink into it completely.
No, I was
so.
working 8 hours before, so then I needed the 6 hours.
Yeah, I don't think I would be able to manage level 2 with work. That would have been very challenging.
Yeah, I think it's a big
So going to the next question, you guys had the same background, right? I mean, you guys were from the finance background. So how difficult is it for someone who has no background in finance, like who doesn't have any course on the accounting aspect or the finance? I mean, if an engineer were to do a CFA course, how difficult would it be for him or her?
I think level 1 is really approachable. I think level 1, even if you have no knowledge of finance, it's really well written and the concepts are really easy to follow as well. I think level 2, anyone would struggle, but I guess if you don't have any background in it, then you'll struggle more.
Yeah, so done with level 1, then level 2 is a continuation, but yeah, level 1 anyone can approach it, like any background can approach it. It's finance, it's very practical, it's not much theory.
Makes
I guess.
sense.
If you understand what they're trying to say, it's money at the end of the day, so it's very much doable.
Yeah, and level 1 is also way smaller, so you can get through it way quicker. So it's not like if you can motivate yourself easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at this point, since both of you are in a master's in finance degree, how do you feel that the CFA, clearing both the levels of CFA, I mean, there is one level left, but clearing both levels and pursuing a master's in finance, how is it helping you now at this stage, Anjani?
Quantitative finance course, the theory part, I feel like we've pretty much covered it. At least some subjects like corporate finance and stuff, we had done all of it in CFA. But all the quant stuff, we haven't done it. Like, we kind of touch on it, but we're not practically doing it. So I guess the theory stuff is easy, but then the quant
CFA
stuff
is
is
basically
new.
just like the not theory, but the knowledge of finance. I think in the course you are utilizing it in a way. for assignments and everything. But otherwise, yeah, it is very much easier to like do the masters after clearing the level 2.
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, I think CFA has included Python as a mandatory requirement to actually access your results after you like give
Really?
your exam for CFA Level 1.
Yeah, for
I mean,
level
this
one.
is actually a thing I did study it. So you need to do a foundation course in Python to be able to access your
Yeah,
results.
either Python or financial
Yeah,
modeling.
financial
You can
modeling.
choose either.
Correct,
of
correct.
them.
Financial
And the
modeling or
first
Python.
level.
And also, I mean, at this point when you're pursuing MSQF, you have done like you've initiated a couple of coding languages like MATLAB and Python, which you didn't do before. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel confident, and do you feel that I mean, the background of CFA, did it help you in any way learning those languages, or did you have to start afresh?
Start fresh. Like I've never done it
Yeah.
before, so yeah, it's pretty new. So yeah, started fresh.
I mean,
For
it's
you as well.
new for me as well, and I didn't have any background in like computer science or anything, so for me it's pretty new. But I think it's interesting because you can apply the knowledge that we did get from CFA into it.
Yeah, that is a fascinating part, like getting the results after.
Yeah, that was
that's-
mainly my question.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
were you able to actually learn from those results that you got? Because as I'm not from a coding background, neither did I do CFA. So I mean, I didn't know a lot of concepts that I saw in MATLAB per se. So even if something like portfolio optimization or something that I had to learn again. And for you guys, since you've already covered cleared CFA level 2, you might have that background and understanding of what is actually MATLAB plotting out, what is the output actually saying to me. I feel that you guys must have felt easier to it is easier to interpret,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
I feel brainstorming was easier.
Yeah.
You tell me because we were partners.
Of course. I think it's easier to brainstorm with folks who have prior knowledge. But when you're learning individually, like on a more of an individual level, how do you feel a person from MSQF can attempt the level 1 program at this point?
Very easily. Like I
Yeah.
think you'll take not more than 3 months. So the exam, CFA exam, like giving the exam is a different thing. It's very different, the MCQs and all. So you need to get used to that. The knowledge is not enough. You need to practice a lot what kind of MCQs they're going to ask you in the exam. So that is one thing you need to practice. That is what's going to take you time. Otherwise, you're good to go when it comes to the knowledge and the theory part of the exam.
I think also like one thing that people don't understand is that CFA is language based, so you need to be good with English to give the CFA exam
Yeah, I
because
think-
they really trick you with words.
You told this to me.
True.
Yeah.
That's there. That's there.
So maybe reading comprehension that you
Yeah.
need.
Especially for level 2, but even for level 1, they will use like the opposites very frequently, and you have to be really short about what you're saying is the right answer.
Makes sense.
Just to brief it up, we do brush up on the concepts. I mean, the MSQF course does brushes up on the concepts, but you need to practice more, like, right?
You have to understand the CFA exam, right? Like you
Okay.
might know the concepts, you might have learned them, you might have applied them in a project, but the CFA exam is a different pattern compared
Okay.
to what we've done in the masters, right?
We asked this question because the university pages, a lot of universities do mention this on the portals.
Yeah.
Like if you're going through this course, you can take the first level exam.
Yeah.
No,
so that's
so
why we just have this question.
yeah, you definitely have the knowledge,
Yeah.
but how do you apply the knowledge to the
Makes
test?
sense.
The
That's what
questions
you
are
have to
pretty
learn.
tricky at first. Once you get used to them, it's very straightforward. But initially, the questions are very tricky. The
Yeah,
practice
and
ones.
I think our uni doesn't touch upon ethics at all, and that is one of
I
the
don't
Yeah,
think anyone does as such.
No, but all the universities call out their programs to be CFA affiliated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're saying that their courses are very much in line. I mean, I agree. Like some to an extent, I have a subject that I'm studying right now, which is fixed income. That's completely based on the CFA modules. But I really don't feel that the entire CFA module is being covered. If we talk about being CFA affiliated, that's the terminology that they use, right?
They start with more basics over here than the CFA program, I would say. And also that ethics is just not covered here, and ethics
Yeah.
is like a big portion of the
It's
CFA
an
program.
econ also.
Yeah, but econ most people cover in their undergrad, right?
And accounting also, actually. Accounting also, we don't
Yeah,
have.
we don't have it
accounting.
here.
Yeah.
But basically, we have 10, like, we are doing 10 courses here right now at Northeastern. And just imagine like all the knowledge you have to like you are examined on that in like a day. So that is the more challenging part of it. To like
Yeah.
be prepared, to like know it all and give it in a day.
Yeah, and also like in level 1 you don't need to really time manage, but level 2 is all about time management. So how you can
I still think you have plenty time when you're giving the exam. Like
Yeah, if
Level
you
two.
save 3 hours of the 6 hours exam, I
level
think-
2 also, I don't think it took a lot of time. Like I've never heard a single person ever not being able to finish a CFA exam.
not about finishing it, but reading the comprehensions
Yeah,
and getting the
that's
relevant
tedious. You
things
need
out
to
of it.
practice. Yeah.
Okay.
So now let's go to the most important part. What are the growth prospects? And it has two aspects that I'd like you guys to touch upon. First is both of you are enrolled in a fund, right? Which is a student managed fund. And so how CFA is helping you in that? And are you getting an edge over the other job seekers? Because you have completed the first two levels of CFA. So the fund, and I mean fund is the most that you can apply right now, the practical experience, and the second is the job part. So
That's
both of you
for
guys.
background, the fund that we are mentioning here is a student managed, faculty advised mutual fund that is around $1.5 million in value. So that is completely student driven, and we as masters in quantitative finance students can register as an analyst, and of course if we work hard we can get through sector managers and even be leaders in that. So how do you feel your experience is on the part of growth prospects, your experience as CFA graduates, and of course being part of the Huntington Fund?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't taken the fund before, so that's unfair.
Yeah, she's a junior analyst. He is the sector manager.
So yeah, the first semester it was pretty challenging. It was very challenging to like model it and like pitch the stock and to sell the stock. It is something which requires a lot of practical skills rather than just knowing the theory. Knowing the theory obviously helps. It makes it a lot more easier, but yeah, it is a skill to sell the stock and to like have the right reasons to sell it also. So it was pretty challenging, but obviously having the knowledge helps. The valuation knowledge, it always helps for sure.
And
And what about the job part? Are you getting an edge over the other job seekers?
That is, I think that is very subjective. But
Not yet, I would say.
yeah,
I
Not
think-
yet for anyone.
Not yet for anyone.
Yeah.
but I
not
think,
yet.
at least back in India, I had seen a lot of jobs that looked for CFA professionals, and they would put that in their job description. So, of course, like it opens more avenues for us at least.
Yeah, I mean, people who are looking to go back to India after they complete their graduation. I mean, this masters. I mean, with a double masters and CFA level 2, I don't think anybody can stop you. But I feel that in the US, I think things are still a little bit slow.
They are, I think.
yeah, it's very different. Like someone who wouldn't have done these things might get a job before me if they like do things the right way. You know, if they have better skills, better communication skills. After all this is academic, and it is not necessary that a person who can like accomplish all these things can perform well in a real life setting. So there's a like thin line between academic and practice. So yeah, you got to be good at both to get a job for sure.
Yeah. So last question.
So
Rahul.
yeah, the last question is, how should an undergrad student like just start preparing? Should he first get done with a bachelor's and then start working, and along with working, he should start preparing for CFA, or he should like focus on CFA completely after doing his undergrads? How do you suggest like someone who has to just start?
I think for level 1, you should definitely do it while you're in undergrad. Your
Okay.
final year of your undergrad, that is the only way to do it, I feel.
And now you can give it earlier also. Like in the second year also, you're eligible to give it. So
And
when we were
yeah,
giving it,
we could
needed,
only give it in the
yeah,
final year.
In the final year, we needed like 2 years
Yeah.
of undergrad to.
But
give
I
the
feel
one.
level 2, I always say that you should work side by side.
Yeah, I don't think a person should rush
Yeah.
into giving level 2. You should work for a couple years and then go for level 2. Otherwise, the knowledge is not going to help you.
No, I
in any
think
sort.
you should try giving it as consecutively as you can, because otherwise you get lazy and you're not gonna do
Yeah,
it.
that's there. That
Like it really now, let's see when we give our level 3, right?
Okay, so
Yeah,
the main
that's-
point is the industry doesn't demand anything as of such, so it's completely subjective, right?
Yeah,
Whenever
yeah.
the person wants to take it.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. So when you guys plan to give the third level?
Third level. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe
No
in
idea.
August.
this year?
I'm thinking maybe in August.
I have no idea, no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I think that's it. Do you have any other questions?
No, I don't think. I think this was a very fruitful conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Jay.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Anjali.
For this podcast.
Thank you so much, Miss Anjali. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jay.
It was a nice one, bro.
Nice one.
Hey, what about the cameraman?
Pause,
Stop
pause.
it.
Say thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks
Thanks,
to the
thanks,
cameraman.
Thanks for the.